What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Medicom Mafex Justice League Wonder Woman. And so here we have Wonder Woman posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what she comes with. Wonder Woman does come with two different head sculpts. We do have her neutral head, which does come on her outside of the packaging. Then we do get a stoic head, which has the hair blowing in the wind. We also do get a pair of fists. We get a pair of style pose hands. We get a pair of grip hands for holding the sword. We get a pair of grip hands for holding her shield and the lasso. We do get her sword, which looks really nice. I do like the detailing on it. We do get her shield, which has amazing detail. I really do love this little shield. We do get two different versions of the lasso. We do get one where it is folded up and she can hold it in either her grip hand or right along her waist. And then we do get a powered up version of the lasso. We also get the Amazonian mother box, which looks really good. I do love the detailing on that. And then finally we do get the Mafex display stand. Other than that, Wonder Woman doesn't come with anything else. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually take a closer look at Wonder Woman. And so here we have a closer look at Wonder Woman. Now I have to say I really do like the head sculpt on Wonder Woman. It does look pretty good. Now I don't know if you guys can see on mine, but mine does have some paint error, especially right here. Let's see if I can actually show that off. It does appear like there was supposed to be some makeup right here on the side of her face, but for some reason mine either rubbed off or it was like removed somewhere in the manufacturing process. I know it wasn't removed by another hand because I did get this Wonder Woman when it still had the plastic wrapping. So maybe over time some of the paint did rub off on some of the plastic wrap that was protecting the figure, and that's probably why it looks that way. But yeah, I don't know how well you guys can see it on camera, but it does look like there was some rubbing off with the makeup that she was supposed to have on her, which is a little bit unfortunate because I don't like paint errors like that, and it is a defect that it is quite noticeable in person, and it's not something you can just wave off. But that doesn't mean that this isn't a nicely done figure. She has a lot of nice detail going throughout her. Now, I believe this is the second time they've released this particular mold of Wonder Woman. The first time was for the Wonder Woman movie. It might actually still be a reuse of the Batman vs. Superman Wonder Woman, just tweaked a little bit. But yeah, I really do like the body and the head sculpt. They did a fantastic job with her tiara. As you can see, it's done beautifully. She has her nice, beautiful black hair, which is very soft. I kind of wish that Aquaman's hair was made of the same material that her hair is, because this hair moves really nicely. And something I did forget to mention about her sword is that she actually does have screen accurate storage for the sword, so you can actually have her store the sword on her back, which this is the only figure I know of that has that particular strap, and that's the way it is in the movie, so I really do like that. So yeah, hair is very beautiful. Really like the sword storage. Moving on to the rest of the figure, like I said, I do believe that this is complete reuse of the Batman vs. Superman and Wonder Woman mold. It's not a bad mold by any stretch of the imagination. It's beautiful. I love the way this figure looks. Of course, she does have the skin tone where she's supposed to, where her armor doesn't cover. And then we do have her armor covering her chest with the Wonder Woman logo. We do have her harness, which is removable. If you do take her apart, you can take this figure apart and take the harness off if you really want to. If it gets in the way, you can do that. But me personally, I don't see why you want to remove the harness. It looks really nice, and it does bring out that feeling of warlike Amazonian princess that you really do expect from Wonder Woman. Of course, she does have the bare right arm going into her gauntlet, into the wrist wraps, which looks really nice, and I do like the detailing on the gauntlet there. On the left arm, we do have her armband right here, which again goes into her gauntlet, which they did a beautiful job painting and detailing it. It has so much nice little details throughout it. Her entire costume is nicely detailed. You can see the line work going through it. Looks really nice. Then on the back, we have some more of that gold and red and silver. Beautiful, beautiful piece right here. We do have the Wonder Woman logo on her belt going all the way around as well. We do have her little skirt piece, which is a floating belt piece, which I really wouldn't move it too much because when we get to her waist piece, it doesn't quite go all the way up and you kind of need the belt to hide some of the gapping. So the belt, even though it does get out of the way, it's not intended to be a free-floating piece because once it starts moving around, it does kind of expose some of the gaps in this figure. But yeah, I really do like the texturing here on her skirt piece. Looks really nice, and I do like the fact they added the gold trim. That's a nice little detail that could have been overlooked, which I'm glad they didn't. Then we have her boots, or her greaves, whatever you want to call them, which have these really nice silver and gold plates right here on her knees. You can see they have the straps going all the way around. It does look like she actually takes the time to strap these on. Really loving the shade of red that they have on her. Now I know a lot of people might say it's too dark, but this is the shade that it is in the Justice League movie. I don't know if it was in the theatrical version, but in the Snyder version it is this dark, so it is accurate. And then we have that silver and gold going down into her feet right here, which we do continue that motif of the red and gold with the bands painted really nicely, and you can see some detailing such as little studs right there. So yeah, Wonder Woman is no slouch for a detail, and that's something I really do like about the Mafex figures, is the amount of detail that is in the figures. Now, with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Wonder Woman compared to other figures you may have in your collection. So here we have Wonder Woman posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Wonder Woman posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Wonder Woman posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we do have the Mafex Justice League Wonder Woman posed next to the Mattel Justice League Wonder Woman. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to her articulation. Now, Wonder Woman does have quite a bit of articulation, and I really do like the range that it gets. Could be better in some aspects, but let's actually run through it. She does have a double ball joint here at the neck, which, because her hair is a very soft material, she can look up beautifully. She can look down quite a bit, which I do like that. We do get some really nice head tilt as well as head rotation, so very good range of head movement here on Wonder Woman, and it's only exemplified by how soft that hair is. If every female figure's hair was this soft and had this kind of range, I would be so much happier in life. So yeah, really good range there. She does have a ball joint going into the torso. Now, depending on how you have that situated, you can have gapping issues. I know a lot of people complain about how the shoulder looks. It's really a minor nitpick if you really try to really pick at it. Like you see, it does cover itself really well, and you can increase range just by moving it around. So you can adjust it so it does work perfectly. So all those people saying it's too gappy, I can see where it's coming from, but you can adjust it so it's not that big a deal. And when you have her pose, it does cover up the gap, so it's not that big a deal, honestly. But yeah, we do have arms that do go out to the side, better than horizontal. They do go all the way around, which works fine. We don't have a bicep swivel on Wonder Woman, but we do have upper shoulder rotation, which I think I would have preferred the rotation down here at the elbow, because this kind of does limit some posability. Not a lot, but yeah, it does limit some mobility when the swivel is shoulder high. We do have a double bend at the elbow, giving us better than 90 degrees, as well as a ball hinge here at the wrist, which does have in and out movement, and we can rotate that to have up and down. So getting her in the traditional Wonder Woman crossing her arms might seem like a little bit of a hassle, but it's really not. She does it really well. This shoulder is just a little bit stiff, so I do have to apply some lubricant on that after the review is done, so do be aware that the joints may be a little bit stiff on Wonder Woman. We do have a ball joint here in the torso, which functions beautifully. You can see she leans back, leans forward, side to side, and then we have some rotation. Then we have another ball joint down here at her waist, which does help with her leaning forward. Surprisingly, she gets better forward mobility than backwards mobility, which I do appreciate that little detail. She does have ball hinges here at the hip, so they do drop down a little bit. Not as much as we've seen on other figures, but it does drop down. And her legs, thankfully, do go out to the side, or do go straight forward. But if you try cranking them too much, they do pop off. Don't worry, you can always pop that leg back on, and it fits normally. So yeah, if you're too crazy with it, it will start popping off. Hips only go out to about that far, which is actually quite better than we've seen with Superman and Aquaman. We do have a thigh swivel up high, double bend at the knee going quite a bit up. I really love that. That's really good range there. Her feet are the same ball hinge that we saw with the wrist, so they do rotate at the ankle. They do have a hinge which goes back and forward. We have forward facing pin for rocker ankle, so you can move that to have a true rocker ankle. So I do really love the fact that that is a ball hinge, because you can get a true rocker ankle out of it. And thankfully, no toe hinge, because if she had a toe hinge, those tiny feet would be even harder to stand. So overall, really happy with Wonder Woman here. So what we're going to do now is get her posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Mafex Wonder Woman pose for my final thoughts, and overall, I'm fairly impressed with the way this figure came out. The amount of detailing on her is phenomenal, and the sculpt work on her is really crisp and clean. If I do have one criticism about the figure itself, I kind of wish that she came with a better lasso for dynamic posing. Yeah, we do get one where it looks like it's powered up, but I would have liked to see one that maybe was a wireframe, or even if we got one that was already pre-posed that wasn't in the two loops. I think I would have liked that a little bit better. But overall, this is still a really solid release from Medicom. I think they did an outstanding job with Wonder Woman, and the amount of detailing in her is superb, and she fits in perfectly with the rest of the Justice League from Mafex. Now, I do know that a lot of people were comparing this Wonder Woman to the SH Figure Arts one, and it really depends on your preference. I know the SH Figure Arts Wonder Woman does have a better likeness to Gal Gadot, but that one seems to be missing its eyebrows, and unfortunately she doesn't come with as much as this figure. Now, some people will say that it's quality over quantity, but the quality on this figure is relatively good, and I haven't had any issues besides that tight right shoulder, which I did manage to get freed up just a little bit by putting some lubricant in there. I might have to treat it one more time with the lubricant, but I haven't had any fear of breaking this figure, and anything that doesn't cooperate just simply pops off, so that is a plus. So I don't have any issues with breaking. Now, the price point on this figure is getting up there. This Wonder Woman is starting to hit prices up to 120 and higher. That's a bit extreme for a Wonder Woman figure. Now, I know that they have released this particular mold about 3 times, but this is the Justice League version, and it is probably the most superior version that Mafex has put out there, and I really do love the accessories she comes with. Like I said, my one and only complaint accessory-wise, I kind of wish we had a better posed lasso. That would have been much better. As far as the paint detailing on mine goes, the neutral head could have had better paint, especially with the cheeks. I don't know what went wrong with that one, but it's hit or miss with figures and paint, so it's not something I'm going to hold against the figure. If you can get hold of this Wonder Woman, definitely do it if you're a fan of the Snyderverse, the DC Extended Universe, or just want a really nice Wonder Woman in your display. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as my other Mafex Justice League figures. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you'd like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.